going on, everybody? I just read an article. I found it kind of interesting, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. This is the first time this has ever happened in the history of ever. And what that is electric vehicles just outsold manual gearbox vehicles. Years ago, manuals were pretty much all you could get. Then the automatic came along, and it took a few years for them to surpass manual gearboxes. Fast forward to 2019, only 10 years after the electric vehicle was really introduced to the public, and now it has also surpassed manual gearboxes. Now, that happened in the third quarter of 2019, and by the numbers, electric vehicles sold 1.9%, and those are vehicles such as Tesla, which is probably a major part of this. Everybody knows Tesla. Everybody seems to like Tesla. I'm not the biggest fan. Some of their designs are okay. Some of them are kind of weird looking, like their SUVs. Their truck they're coming out with is kind of weird looking. But a lot of people like that stuff. And then you have like the Nissan Leaf and the Chevy Bolt. And that all, and a few other vehicles, but that all, went into the 1.9%. But manual gearbox vehicles only sold 1.1%. Now, what has caused this decline in sales? In the article, they said that it was probably the discontinuation of like entry-level cars. Like I used to have a Toyota Tercel, and it was a 4-speed manual, which it needed to be a 5-speed manual. It really wound out in fourth gear at like 60 mile an hour. Heaven forbid you get that thing on the interstate. But with that manual gearbox, it got 40 mile per gallon, and it had no electric help or nothing. That was just with the little 4-banger gasoline engine. But nowadays, you can't find entry-level cars like that, like the Chevy Spark and stuff like that. I'm not sure if they sell a Spark manual gearbox, but when we was looking for them for my daughter, because at one time she wanted one of those, they were all automatics. So the discontinuation of these cheap entry-level cars, stuff that's under, let's say, probably $14,000, $15,000 now, because I think the Spark back then was like $11,000 or $12,000. Not sure what they are today. That was a couple years ago. But the discontinuation of vehicles like that has probably brought on the decline of the manual gearbox sale. Now, a lot of people say that, the manual gearboxes is the millennial theft deterrent, and they're probably right. I know a lot of millennials that have no clue how to drive a manual gearbox, and we tried to teach my daughter how to do it. Oh my God, that third pedal, whoo, man, she wanted no part of that. And it's just made it more simple to drive the automatics, and people want simplicity nowadays. And there's a lot of people that are turning more towards the green side of life, and electric vehicles are more green. Now, I've always said for me to own an electric vehicle, it's going to have to go from here to Florida and back. Now, that's probably a 1,600 mile trip, and I don't want to have to stop somewhere and charge my car. And I don't want to have to think about, well, I turned on my windshield wipers or my headlights or my air conditioner, and now I've lost 50 miles because I did that on my trip. I want an electric vehicle that will drive me a very long way, and I'm not willing to sacrifice my time to stop and do that. I'm sorry for all the green climate people out there. I'm not that person, and I'm not willing to do that. If you are, thank you, but that's not me. When they get to that point, I'll consider it. Right now, I'm out. But that has also been part of the increase in sales on electric vehicles, and I understand that. But like I said, 1.9% compared to 1.1%. So my question is how long is it going to take the electric vehicle to surpass gasoline vehicle sales, that is? It only took 10 years for it to surpass manual gearboxes. In another 10 years, in 2030, are we going to see it surpass gasoline burning vehicles? Is it going to be 5 more years? Battery technology has really increased over the last few years. And I imagine that is only going to get better. And who knows if they'll add solar panels or other things to these vehicles to try to help them charge while they're being driven, such as maybe generators or something. and help get a little bit more mileage out of that battery before it needs to be charged. Like I said, that is the only time I would ever consider even thinking about that, because I don't like wasting 30 minutes to an hour of my time while I'm traveling to recharge my car. I don't even like to recharge my phone while I'm doing that, and I can do that while I'm driving. Now, I have a video in mind that I do plan on doing. I've researched this a little bit. I've just not shot it yet. And it's going to be titled, "Is the Manual Transmission Going Extinct?" I have researched what vehicles you can actually still get in a manual gearbox. And I'll be doing a video about all the vehicles that you can still buy. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because if you want a manual gearbox, I believe in the next years to come, you might want to get one because they probably are going extinct. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.